Hey everybody, Merry Christmas. As I make this, it is now 3:33 in the morning, and I hope that if you're not up, that you're in your sleep, that you're asleep and you're safe and sound, and you've got the NORAD Saturn tracker working in the background, keeping an eye on where Santa is, because in 24 hours it will be, well, Christmas Day. Wow, it's hard to believe that we've come through what feels like another 3 years in 1 year. It felt like 3 years in 1 year the previous year for me. That was 2020. And so altogether, it feels like 6 years, right? 6 years and two. That's a load, and it's exhausting. And in experiencing this, I've come to observe some processes that I am a little concerned about for the most part, and I want to share with you. Foremost among them is my observation that we have done very little to address concerns of small businesses, and what we, particularly in the United States, which is where I live, have seemingly been concerned about is regulatory as opposed to assistance, telling people not to do a thing. Now, no, this is not a right-wing rant, if you will. I don't do that. But this is an expression of concern for approaches that lean toward the left or toward the right rather than solving a problem. The main problem is that people, for the most part, are not getting enough money to run their businesses because they don't have customers who have the money to shop at those businesses at the rate that keeps those businesses going. So and that problem was caused by the pandemic. We have not done enough to help people. I mean, let's consider the process. We had the Payroll Protection Loan Program, which ostensibly was supposed to give us a loan that we could count on the government to forgive if we used it to pay our employees. But then all of a sudden, here comes these rule changes after the assistance money had been sent. Many rule changes. The one that really hurt a lot of people is, well, you can't pay contractors. Well, the contractor economy or the gig economy has been a major and growing factor in the transformation of our economy. So you're going to actually force people into a situation where they cannot be compensated for basically doing what everybody else has done around them, which is hire independent contractors working for them. And the reason given is, well, they can get the assistance on their own. Well, suppose they don't. Suppose that because they take employment of a sort from a small business, they count on that small business to do the paperwork for them. A lot of people just don't like to do that kind of paperwork. We say to people today, by action, go and start your own business. And what we have said, because that happened during the pandemic, is go and start your own business because other businesses don't have enough money to hire you at the rate you want to work. Okay? So we force people to do that, and then we say that we've said that, and then we say now, well, this is all by action, not by decree. But we say that now, well, go and start your own business because you need to be at home to avoid working in venues where you would catch the coronavirus, and then make sure that you're able to homeschool your kids, right? So already I've given you two examples where we're forced to have businesses work out of the home. And then I've said, okay, if you run a bricks and mortar business, I'm not going to give you the aid you need to make that bricks and mortar business like a restaurant, such that you and I can eat in it without breathing the air that has the coronavirus in it. You know, this is airborne, right? So guess what? They don't get that aid, and the business winds up closing because it's back to the point where not enough people are coming to see it, coming to visit it. You say, well, go and market, you know, tell the people you're out there. Okay, well, that takes money. They don't have it. You're not giving it to them. So what we need to do is and then with the payroll protection program, you say, you have to pay that money back. And in Bank of America's case, they force you to pay 80% of it back. And they send you a letter that doesn't mention the Small Business Administration, which is really the minister of the program. And they bully you as if you came to them from a standard loan, when they used, and the Small Business Administration used the airwaves and the media, and publications even like my own, with press releases, to say, hey, come and get our payroll protection program loan. It's forgivable. But then you get it, and then guess what? They pull a fast one on you. We seem to have an aversion to giving businesses and people money to stay afloat. And then we wonder why we have problems. We have to get over that. It seemed to me that it was easier and better to give money when the United States was smaller and more mono-ethnic, but now it's multi-ethnic, and we have this society where everyone else thinks somebody else is doing better than they are, and we have a society where you have too many instances of the police taking out murderous activities against people of color. What's the way around all of this? It's simple. In America, it is to do what the Europeans do. The Europeans have already seen how another round of coronavirus-led closures will so severely impact business that will ruin our quality of life. And they've gotten to work on grants, not loans, grants. We, on the other hand, have done nothing. Congress is set to sunset the economic disaster loan program December 31st, Friday, a week from today. Nary a peep, not a peep at all about extending it. And then those who say extend it are countered by those who say, well, it's going to be inflationary. Well, how can you have hyperinflation and high inflation for over the long term when the reverse is to wreck the economy because you don't have money coming into it? Right? In other words, they're saying, well, don't put money into it because there's going to be inflation. Well, it'll go up and then it'll come down. My point is, so what? That's a trade-off. I would rather have the inflation and save lives than not, which gets me to my other point. It should be recognized that it is completely necessary and valid to give people money for their businesses to help stop the spread of coronavirus, as it is telling people to wear a mask. And then we should make sure that businesses are fortified so that they're not forced to shut down for new reasons, like they can't find enough employees because the employees are sick, or they just don't have enough money to deal with a downturn. We have no cushion for them. We seem to think it's okay. And for those who scream about the market, I'm going to let you in on something, folks. There's no such thing as a free market. Why? Because government governs our lives. Want proof that government governs our lives? Look no further than the mask debate. What is that over? Government policy. government runs our lives. We're better off saying, in America, we can build a set of government policies that make sure that businesses don't go through what businesses went through in 2020. We have never stopped being in the pandemic. That's a fact. The joke that was placed upon us is that we're in a post-pandemic society. Just because you say we are doesn't mean that we are. And if you want proof that what I'm saying is true, look no further than what's happening now. The number of coronavirus cases in New York is higher than it was in March of 2020 and April of 2020 when we hit this first wave of coronavirus. Then it went down in December. Now guess what? It's higher than it's ever been in New York. And that's true for a number of places. In the coronavirus, the Omicron variant version is in 89 different countries. So we turn around, we're looking at the Consumer Electronics Show, CES, which I've attended every year for the last 12 years, including the virtual version. We're looking at a situation now where, hey, businesses are saying we're not going to go because they don't want to get sick. CES helps businesses. Where is the government interest in providing a virtual version or providing beyond punitive measures for people at CES by giving them special kits so that they can have their own masks? So you would say mask up, which gets me to my other point. Why haven't we moved beyond the basic mask technology to a point where the mask that we wear actually truly filters the air? Rather than just has a stopgap, it really actually alters the air that comes into us and makes it healthier. I'm shocked that we haven't developed a market where there is a rampant competition for the development of advanced masks that will actually make us healthier and allows us to breathe air better and cleaner air, make it almost medicinal. Where is that market? Where is our ingenuity? I'll tell you where it is. It's not being completely and effectively financed because we have elected officials that don't seem to want to do it. This is not a Democratic problem or a Republican problem. This is, I contend, a problem of American incompetence. We have found ourselves in a place where we lack the will and the initiative to alter our economy to face a big threat. A big threat that was really created by us. You do know that were it not for our financing research into what are called pathogenic bat coronaviruses, that we wouldn't be in this situation now. Oh, sure, a lot of people like to blame it on Wuhan, but Wuhan was hired by EcoHealth. Where is EcoHealth based in? The United States. We stopped funding that kind of research in 2014, but in 2017, under Obama, in 2017 under Trump, we started back again. Why? Why was it so important to restart a program creating something that attaches to you and me ostensibly with the objective of killing you and me? Ask yourself that question. Right now we need to get over this, and the best way we need to get over this is for us as government policy people to enact policies that make assistance to businesses key priority. In Oakland, in San Francisco, and in California, Los Angeles, they have AB 464 on the books. What does that do? It allows the use of property tax revenues, the tax increment financing collection, to be pooled and then adopted directly to the assistance of businesses who have been impacted by the coronavirus. Hey, who's using it? Nobody. Oakland? No. I keep screaming about it. Nothing happens. What is going on? I'm not concerned with what is going on just for the sake of knowing. I want to know what's going on for the sake of stopping why we're doing it and making us do the right thing. We have too many businesses. Do you realize that the 21 restaurant, the famous eatery in New York is still closed? Where are the people like Peyton Manning and Donald Trump and others who were patrons of the restaurant and regulars in President Trump's case when the restaurant needs a helping hand to revive? What better symbol of American revival would there be than open, thriving 21 Club in New York? What better symbol of a comeback would be a thriving restaurant industry, period. Period. On the cover of this live stream, I used the photograph of the alley at 3325 Grand Avenue, which is in need of $60,000 of assistance it should have gotten last March. What's going on? Okay? We need to get serious. If we want to stop the spread, we need to start spreading money to business, small businesses, and we need to get serious about it. Not, well, I'll give you money, but then, oh, I'll give you the money. I want you to give me the money back because you didn't spend it. Like, I figured out maybe I thought you should have spent it after the fact. What? That's insane. We need to stop the insanity. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.